was only for the night.
We're riding around the world to road test Ruffly gear in the K9 Moto Cockpit and to raise $100,000 for Girl Up. Every 6 months we tackle a new challenge. First was the Arctic Ocean, then the Darien Gap, and now we're aiming for the bottom of South America.
My heart is home with you.
Whimsy's still a little bit paw sore from our horseback riding trek. So the second day we did 18 kilometers out and then 18 kilometers back. So that's 36 kilometers. I think that's the longest that she's ever hiked in a day. And there were rocks and she went through the water and there was gravel. So she's a little bit both probably paw sore and she's got her muscles are sore, and she's been laying down and resting a lot. So we've been having her have her bed for the most part. Right now I just put it away, but she's been laying on her bed, and she just needs a few more days to recoup. But it'll be good because she'll be in the cockpit today. It will be hot out for her. It's going to be perfect weather for the dog, not necessarily for me because it's going to get cool. And she'll just need a few days to recoup, and then she'll be back to normal. Greg, what's going on with your pants here?
The hardest thing to do in motorcycle travel is to dress for where you're going. And where we're going is the border, where it's around 4,000 meters. It's like a gnat's dick above freezing there. And so I'm absolutely dying right now with my spandex on, with my leggings on. So I need heat to expel while we're at 2,000 meters and it's hot in the sun because it's going to be brutal up there.
I just set up Whimsy's stay at the place that she's going to be boarded at for 11 days, where we go back to Guatemala. So she'll be in Chile. It's a really nice place. They've got all this green space and they have other dogs, and they're going to give her a bath on the last day because I think that she needs it. So everything is sorted for her, and we're going to see if we can pass by on the way down from the border here to see if we can visit a little bit, because I haven't actually seen it in person. So after a little bit of high-speed riding, we're now on the road going up to the Christ the Redeemer statue. And I just took off Whimsy's ear pros because we're going slow. But look down there. There's all of this line of cars. These people, there's nobody who's coming up this way. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe the road gets worse and they're worried about their little cars, or they just don't know about it. I'm not sure, but glad we're the only ones. Hey. It got a little sandy around the corner. And so I didn't want to. I sort of had a little squiggle in the corkscrew there. So I was coming up over here, and I didn't want to be on the far side because in case I fell, I didn't want to fall off the cliff. So I came up on the high side. Of course, the high side has more sand. And this was just the slowest fall ever. We just went down gently, and here we are.
So the Christ the Redeemer statue stands essentially right on the borderline between Chile and Argentina. And so we have an Argentine military outpost chateau style on the one side, and we have a Chilean utilitarian brick sort of castle-esque feature on the other side. And we have Christ in between them, essentially, I suppose, keeping the peace. certain things that we're not allowed to say or talk about. So AF is one of them.
Yes.
Jess is not allowed to talk about the weather or the price of things. She's been denied both of those topics for excessive use. And what have I been denied?
AF and the sunlight. How much daylight there is in
because
the day.
I'm a big fan of the daylight and not the nighttime. And so I'm always considering when the sunset and sunrise is going to be, and like a cowboy, of course. And so Jess has denied me access to talking about that topic of daylight.
I had my little fall in the sand there where I was just resting. The bike was resting. We were all resting. The next stretch goes downwards, and it's very windy. Whole bunch of switchbacks. So I think it's just going to be a bit of a calm pace as we make our way down.
Now, it's a very important thing to be positive all the time in every situation and really only say good things and nice things about everything and anything you see. And yet, that's not really our way. That's not GoRUFFLY. And this is one pet peeve that I have, is all the stickers. It's gotten a bit out of control. Now, we have stickers as well, and we hand them out to little girls and little boys, and sometimes little girls and little boys that are young at heart and big of body. But we really don't, in fact, post them anywhere. There's just something about, like, you know, the old expression, take only memories and leave only footprints. And also, I guess, leave stickers as well. So this nice couple here, we're just over at the lookout as I was getting stuff on the bikes. And they said, excuse me, do you mind a photo? And I said, no, of course not. The dog will be leaping up in about 5-10 minutes. And they looked at me strangely and they're like, no, can you take a photo of us? Like, oh, I'm so accustomed to people wanting to take a picture.
Gregory, what an embarrassment. What an embarrassment.
They just wanted me to take a photo
of them. I sort of lost it on the way down here. This last switchback, it was really rocky. I struggled to make the turn. I rode out onto the outside, stopped, composed myself, and started going. Everything was fine, and I could see that this was a tight turn, and I probably sort of second-guessed myself. I was able to make it to this other lane, thinking I was going to take the turn wide and cut it. Not exactly sure what happened, but I did go down with power. It's not like I just stalled, so I probably was just looking at the wrong place, and look, down we went. Better that than running right into that big rock. I made it through the other one really nicely, and like, it was okay. And then I got here and I'm not exactly sure. I saw those big rocks and I was trying to look through it and I was going too slow and then I stalled. Whistle! Good girl! We made it down from the big Jesus up there, and it was tough. I went down twice, so then I let Whimsy down so that she could run beside because it was getting tough. The switchbacks are pretty steep, and there's a lot of rubble on them for the vehicles that have come up. But we made it down, yay! And then we have another problem. Whimsy started speckling just on this stretch now. So she just went into her second heat, and I had just purchased her booking for the boarding facility that I was supposed to drop her off on Monday. Today is Saturday, so I only have 2 days because we're leaving on Tuesday to fly back to Guatemala to check in on the business, Greg and I both. So we need to put Whimsy somewhere. The boarding facilities probably won't accept her because she's in heat, and they've said that some of them like outright don't accept dogs that aren't spayed or neutered. So I think that this is going to be a challenge. The other thing, I thought maybe we get an Airbnb and get a pet sitter to come and stay there with her. That gets really expensive. I don't know. Another challenge we're going to have to solve.
We've reached the front of the line. They gave us a pass. They told us to come with them. They seem to really be kind of helping out the motorbikes because they'll send these cars out or official trucks that kind of point at people and bring them along. So there isn't too much rhyme or reason why some of the autos, the cars, were brought, and all the motorcycles that we saw came with us, but we'll take it. And so now we've been kind of huddled here at this location. They've given us a document to fill out, which Jess is doing on both of our behalves. Whimsy is absolutely exhausted. She's just blasted from all the running, from the riding, just from life. Life is exhausting for this dog. We're now inside the customs and aduana structure, and it turns out that the form they gave us was not correct because we have foreign bikes, not Argentine bikes, going into Chile. That has since been rectified, and we're going through the motions, and it basically is pretty good. Really, I mean, there's nothing to complain about at this point. I'm sure we can find something, but everybody's been nice, which is kind of a contrary to the dreaded sort of Chilean coldness that people talk about. The language, the Chilean dialect or accent is challenging. There's no question about that. But the people are good, especially for this being such a shitstorm of a time. I mean, everybody from the holidays is now coming back. It's the weekend after the holidays. So it's absolutely the worst of all fucking times to be doing this. And they're moving people through. So after this, we have to deal with the dog. We also have to deal with a review of the bikes, which is the Chileans are very strict about what kind of shit gets brought into their country. And so they are more than likely going to do a full revision of the bikes. And we think we've separated out the no-nos, like the produce and things like that we haven't actually gotten rid of yet. It's anybody's guess.
We finished. It took us 3 hours. That includes bypassing the line, waiting in line for maybe 20 minutes, and then getting brought up to the front of the line, and then doing all the paperwork for ourselves, the dog, and the bikes, and canceling from Argentina into Chile. So 3 hours. I asked the guy at the immigration, and he says it normally takes 16 hours when you're at the back of the line and you're waiting. 16. And we met somebody who just came, and they waited 8 hours in line.
Now, meanwhile, when this was all happening, we were in communication with the boarding facility, basically checking to see if they would take Whimsy in her current condition. And they will, which is a huge, huge load off and very unusual. Most of these, like K9 hotels won't take a female in heat. Some won't even take them if they're not yet spayed. So this one is a big win, and we have it confirmed, and now we carry on both legally into the country and lighter in our guts about what we're going to do with Whimsy.
Hi guys, thanks for watching Go Ruffly in real time. If you love Whimsy's gear, head on over to GoRuffly.com and check out our collars, leashes, beds, bandanas, and more for your dog and all the dogs that you know. And if you're interested in the K9 Moto Cockpit, which is how Whimsy rides with me on the back of my motorcycle, you'll get all that information about sizing, mounting, and everything else at GoRuffly.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.